Hello, traders. How are you? Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Anna DeShields here. Today is 2/12/2023, and Bitcoin just made a big move, and there's a lot of hype going on. There's a lot of talk about it. So, what I'd like to do is go ahead and just tell you a little bit, show you what maybe the others didn't get to show. What I'm going to look at with you, and you'll learn tonight, is entries that you could have taken on the lower time frame. So I haven't been able to watch whatever all the other technical analysis and other influencers have said, but I've seen the headlines, and I'm just going to go ahead and show you the lower time frame entries and what we could have done to grab us an entry. I actually was out of the office today, so I'm back in the office tonight, and we're going to get right to it. So let's hop into the charts. Just a second. Okay, so we're going to go over here because I don't want that to show. I'm going to put this here. Okay. And I'm going to make sure that everything is good and that you can see what is going on. Okay, there we go. There's our normal setting that we're used to. And I just want to make sure that everything is correct. Let's see here. I want to all right. Just 1 second. Oh, also, it's important that I show this disclaimer. Let me show that really quickly. This is for educational purposes only. And I am not a financial advisor. Any analysis that I mark up is for your educational benefit. Okay. All right, great. And then we're going to just have one more pause. I apologize. One more pause. Okay, we're back. Thank you for waiting. Just a second. We'll bring up the chart. Okay. All right. We are live and now this is working well. I want to go ahead and take a pause on here. Okay. Just a second. Search voice. Okay. All right. We're going to go ahead and get started. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and look now. I has been a while. Let me go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and just go off and believe that this is going to work. Don't have that one tab open so I can mute that. But welcome, welcome, welcome. Sorry about that. Got a little late start. So hopefully you can just go ahead and press through that beginning. Here we are at Bitcoin, 50,000. Wow, 50,000. And let's just get right into it. I have this is my simple Bitcoin chart and made this chart on 114, January 14th, 2024. So it's pretty basic levels. So I'm going to go ahead and just hide some of this information because I just want us to be able to see the structure. So I had a channel here going from, descending channel. It did have it peak out at the bottom because normally traders, we have this going down to the very bottom. And then we also have this touch. This might have got moved a little bit. But this is the top there. So Bitcoin has busted through the channel. Let me put that back. Let me put that back a little bit. Okay. I do want to keep the bottom with it poked out just so I can see how it poked out at the bottom. And that's okay. You can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. And then I'm going to make this, though. I'm going to move this up a little bit because it is a little off. Okay, there we go. And I can show that breakthrough there too. I have more touches, so that's why I'm going to keep that channel there. All right, so this is the day channel. There can be several of them. You can have a whole bunch of them, but this just gives us a roadmap of what's going on. Now, back in right here where this orange line is, traders, this was January 14th when I made this chart. Okay, so when I made this chart, Bitcoin was right here. It was at 43,000. Okay, from January 14th, and then let's draw another line so we can see the end of the month. We can see kind of what happened. January, let's go to the end of January so we can see what Bitcoin did. Okay. Because she was consolidating a lot because I was able to use this chart for like a month and she wasn't doing anything. Okay. So here we are. This is January 14th until the end of the month. And so you see, she did make a nice fall. That was over a weekend, Sunday, January 21st. She fell down nice. Now, I have these markers here that enabled me to have target zones for the sell when she was down in this zone because, it's like, what's going to go? Is she going to be selling or what's going on? So I had here different ranges that she could hit off of support and resistance levels off of the 1 hour. Okay. And at that time, she was not at the bottom of our channel yet. So that had to be hit. So for her to move down, I would have another channel on. But So she came down, and then down in these zones, this is important for me because you know what I like, traders, it's really good for you to do is have a chart, have several charts. I encourage you to have several charts, one with a lot of detail, one that's more clear, doesn't have too much in. You can just really see the market move. And as you start to use these charts over time, they'll help you jog your memory of what you were thinking. So this is my Bitcoin simple chart. I'd like to keep it very simple. Kind of the information on here is a little bit more than I like to have, but I am going to keep it on just to jog my memory. But anyway, so here, when Bitcoin was in this zone back in the end of January, I was like, okay, if she sells down more, then she can come to this zone. And I remember I wanted her to dip a little bit further into this zone here. And I had a TP like right here, and she did not tap it and did a hard reverse and move back up. So that was disappointing. That was a Sunday night into Monday, and then moved up 1,300 points. So I'm just kind of like going back with my process of my mind of what was going on at that time to help jog and be able to do this nice analysis with you. So I know a lot of other traders that are out there that analyze Bitcoin. They're really using the much higher time frames. You know, the 4 hour in the day. I'm doing that too, but I'll take you down to the lower time frames so you can see the entries. And I think that's what makes my channel a little bit more unique. But all props and respect to those that do other things too. But we each have our own little style, right? So then Bitcoin went ahead and on my Exodus cross took the buy back up and then started to buy up. So now we're into this 4 hour zone, and we are now, where are we at? We're at January 26th. So almost, 3 weeks ago. And then we come up into this zone. Now here I have where I was trading it. This would have been a 100% retracement. Let me go ahead and move this over a little bit to it's locked. This was a fib extension I was using to see where price could go to, and we'll bring that into play. But what I want to draw our attention to is my note here. When she was up in this zone, buying back up 100% retracement back on 118. So this was a landmark for me. Okay. So she came back up here and did the 100% retracement to get up to this zone. I do remember this. She was tapping this area a lot. Let's see, January 26th, and then retested and then broke out and then came back for another retest. So this is 4 hours. So this is from Saturday until Saturday the 27th, then Sunday, and then Monday she takes off, January 29th, and then pushing past this zone. So on the sell down at the 14th of January, then she came down and then, just hung out here. We were using this is the 4 hour though. We were using this chart a lot, and then came back up, did a 100% retracement. Then if we look at our fib extensions, I did a high to low buy where price would have to make at this point, would have to let's see, this looks like a little off. I'm not sure if this is my 1 hour. This might be my 1 hour extension. But what I wanted to point out to you is that price would have to go ahead and make a 100% retracement. And then if these extensions levels were to be hit, this is where it would be. And sure enough, look where she went ahead and executed the fib extensions all the way up to 261. And then now being all the way past up to 50,000 and beyond. Okay, so my goal here was just to show you that that fib extension played out very nicely. So moving on. Okay, moving on. Let's get back to the big picture here. Just kind of going through the little steps. And then we have this zone here. Let me go ahead and hide this now because that is kind of messing with me. I didn't indicate it there, which I don't like when I don't do that. It helps keep you organized. So I'm going to write fib extension. And I'm not sure when I did that. I'm going to put towards the end of the month. Okay, so I'm going to hide that. All right, that's going to, I can keep that on there. I do like to keep my information on here. All right, so price went ahead and Bitcoin went ahead and breaking over the 200, breaking this resistance. Then the next zone would be this 4-hour zone right here. Also, now notice we have a fib going on. Let's look at the fib levels. Okay, we have a fib, a low to high fib here, right here, low to high. She broke this fib zone. Once she broke this fib zone here, traders, then I go into a deeper fib. But I kept that on just as a reference so I could see, you know, what transpired. So that she went ahead and broke that. So now, since she broke that fib, and also we have to then extend this to a lower level for our fibs, but that was broken. I can't go ahead and use these levels anymore because she broke this 100% retracement. Whenever market goes past your 100% level from like where you started your low to high fib, because at this point, when I made this fib on December 3rd, or from December 30th, I didn't necessarily make it on December 30th, but the low at that time where I chose to do my fib, once price breaks that, then you have to go down deeper, find another low, which would be down here actually, and that would be our fib level that we want to use. So, these fib zones are no longer in play. Again, I want to keep it on. Well, I only want to keep it on for my reference. Excuse me. And let's see if we can do that. Okay. We can do that. We'll lock it. Let's see. Do we lock it or we unlocked it? Lock it and we'll hide that. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to later for after this I go live, I'm going to want to remember. I might want to show that again for me for later. So I'll put exclamation marks in front of it for right now so I can remember. Let me also grab a screenshot so I can remember to put that back on. It's really good as a trader to have your notes and keep yourself organized because, you know, as a trader, as a full-time trader one who trades, it's almost like you're a doctor. It reminds me of a pregnancy doctor. You know, it's going to deliver the baby because when the market moves, you got to either take the trade, be ready for the trade, or it moved on you and you catch the next trade. But, you know, I still as well am like, oh man, I missed the move. And it gets to you, right? Because you know the potential that trade could have had for you. If you want to call it FOMO, whatever, there's a lot of traders out there will be like, oh, you have FOMO. No, I don't have FOMO. I feel like if that's the definition of it, then so be it. But I just know that there's a great opportunity. But one thing was good with Bitcoin is that she will always present you nice trade setups that would be very profitable for you. So either way, I don't like to miss them. And so it kind of bums me out. All right. now that we kind of examined that, and I can go ahead and then I have another fib here from when price was at this zone. Okay, let's make sure that's not the same one. Let's see. Right here. Here it is. Okay, that was the same one. Okay, that's the same one. Excuse me. All right, so now that we have that one hidden, this will give us better insight. So price broke our channel. Fine, the descending channel, what was selling, now it's an ascending channel. If I were to throw an ascending channel on here, oh my goodness, it would be, let's see, I'll just show you what it looks like. It's going to be like a tower in New York City. Look at this. This is our 4-hour ascending channel. Okay, that is currently just a really rough channel, ascending channel. It's not as much of an incline as if I were to start it here. If I were to start it right here, it's a huge steep incline, isn't it? Compared to bringing it back down here to this point. Now, for your channels, you want 2 touches, a valley, and a peak for your channel. So we have 2 touches, and then our peak, we want the highest point. So it's at the top of the channel. So it has to break this channel to continue up. Most likely today's Monday. So most likely we'll see consolidation tomorrow and maybe another retest to the top. Okay. If she sells back down to the mid zone of this, that's 2,000 points. That's nice. All right. So for those that you're looking for a swing trade, they have the other traders that go out there and do that analysis for you. I'm more of the intraday, so I'm going lower on the lower time frames. So we're at the top of the channel. Okay, that's good. I'm going to take that off for just a second because we're just going to be doing what she did. And let's see, I'm on my simple chart. I don't know, I have 17. And let me hide this real quick too. Well, it's okay, I guess. So we have a nice, a huge candle to the upside here for today at 7 in the morning. So Sundays, Monday, and Tuesday are her days that she loves to move. And let's look at that. Let's look at where Sunday is. Right here is Sunday. Sunday at 11. Okay, here's Sunday. So not much move, and then today. There it is. So we'll look at that on the lower time frames. Let me make this the right color because I'm going to think that's a 15-minute. And it's not. It's the 4-hour. Okay. All right. So we got that understood. We got to see what happened from the January 14th and how she moved down. She broke the channel. So let's go ahead and put a channel on our day. Now, I won't forget that we have to do, the lower analysis because I said with my alert for this session that I was going to show you the lower time frames and where your entry could have been. But I would like to look at this top-down analysis. So let's go back to the 4-hour and make sure this channel, okay, is our day channel. So let's go to the day and we're going to make a correction here. She broke out of that channel. So we're going to make this a little bit lighter. I'm only keeping this because I want to reference this again after this session. So I'll just make it lighter. Okay. Now let's talk about the ascending channel on the day. Let's bring in the big picture though. Let's put it on lines and just see where we are. Where we are on the big picture. Okay, here we are on the big picture. Now I have this on I have a fibs chart that would have way more data. Oh no, I got 16 already. All right, look at where we're at. We are almost at, from a high to low fib, we're almost at the 5061.8 zone. So let me show you. From this high point back in November 2021 at 67,000, price currently is at the 5061.8 zone. So what does that mean? That means that traders normally look to enter in at this zone, between this zone or this zone here. Okay. They look to enter there at those levels because that's an area that usually the market will come back to. Okay. This zone and this zone. Okay. On these fib levels here. And make it, yeah, it's already on 14. Okay. Now, before I busted that fib out, price, I was saying, is probably at the 5061.8 zone. And sure enough, it is. Look at that. Price is right at the 5061.8 zone. So technically, if we were to go ahead, and this is what banks and institutions do as well. So we as retail traders are just going right along with what the banks do and the big players, how they go ahead and use other tools as well. That's fine. But I do feel confident, and I've been trading Bitcoin for 3 years now, so I know how she moves. And these fibs work beautifully with her. So here is our 5061.8 zone. She just tapped it a little bit higher. So if going up to this area, if she goes up to this zone, then we definitely could see a pullback. This is considered our supply zone, meaning that some traders do supply and demand zones. I do them as well. Gives you a nice entry for the sell back down. You have less risk than if I were to get into a sell now and sell down to this zone. If it were to pull back, okay, buying weight traders might not pull back that hard. I could run the risk of it continue to push up before she does do a pullback. So that's why if traders want to take the pullback, they'll wait to see if she retests up to the 56 and then sell down, because your risk is a lot less. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Your risk is a lot less. So if I enter up here and I put my stop loss here, but I want to go all the way, let's say we retrace back down to this zone, okay, right to this level, which would be, 43 is where she's been at. So if price does come up to here and then sell back down, that's almost a 1 to 2 risk to reward. If I bring my stop loss a little bit lower, I'm running a better analysis, a better risk to reward for me as a trader. If I have my stop loss, say right here, well, that's almost at a 100% retracement. That puts us at 67,000 if she were to push past that. So that right now would be unlikely. So if I waited for price to get up to this zone, my risk to reward for my sell back down is much better, as if I got in now saying that she might sell and go back down to this zone. I have more risk on available at me if I have to, if I move my stop loss at a different location. So if I enter here for the sell, because we are at the zone where she should sell, and I want to get a 1 to 2, let's just say I want to get a 1 to 2 risk to reward, and I kept my stop loss where it's at, I'd have to have her retrace all the way down to here. if I didn't adjust my stop loss. So see how I'm using much more risk for her to, so for this trade to play out, if I were to enter now and I want her to sell and I want a risk to reward at least 2 or greater, that means Bitcoin would have to sell back down to 27,000. I don't really see that happening right now, within the next week. I don't see that happening within the next week. So this would not be a good entry for me. Now, if I just did, let's say, okay, well, I think she could sell back down to this zone of 43,000, 40,000, say. I do not have almost a one-to-one risk to reward if I were to keep my stop loss there. So that's no good. So for me to get a nice type of trade with a safe risk of a 2-to-1, and I want a TP here for her to pull back to 40,000 and for her to start selling right now, well, I'll get a 2-to-1 risk to reward. So that's why comparing from getting in here at the top or getting in here now, traders will analyze the best type of setup. Now, for me, that's not a good setup. I do have a 2-to-1, but the probabilities of her selling down right now, don't see it for this week. Don't see it for this week. So I'm not ready to go ahead and take that type of trade. So that's just kind of showing you that type of setup. Now, but I wanted to know where Bitcoin was at on this high to low fib. And so now I know I have a roadmap. Now I know where she's at. She's at the 5061.8 zone. So that's good to know on the day. Now this is the day fib. Okay. So that gives me an idea of where she's at on the higher time frames. Now let's go down, as I promised, to the lower time frames, the past 48 hours since Sunday, how we could have caught this move. Okay. And this is what I do best. I also do the swing, but I like the intraday. Hush. I tell you, my dogs, they always know when I'm on doing live or I'm teaching. It's like they act up. Okay. I do want to pay attention to these zones here. That's why I kept moving my mouse back, because those are important levels. February 8th. Okay, so it broke this level here. So let's bring this out so we can see the levels that she broke. Okay, these are important. They'll help the conversation. Now, I don't mean to be boring. I was watching another trader, and he was doing his analysis, and I thought, man, if people weren't into this, if other traders or people just watch this, they'd be like, oh my gosh, like this is pretty boring. So, but I get excited about it because I see all the opportunity that us traders can make. I mean, this is like, ladies, this is like if you go to Ulta. Yeah, this is like if you go to Ulta and they have this sale on all their whole store. Everything is 70% off. What? Super Bowl? You'd be like, what? Super Bowl? I don't care. The ladies would be at Ulta. If Ulta was having a 70, 80% sale, all the ladies, a lot of the ladies would be at Ulta right now. Super excited. Like, oh my gosh. Like it's an early Valentine's Day present. It's an early birthday present. It's early Christmas. You guys would be excited. This is how I feel about trading and with Bitcoin. When she makes these moves, it's like an 80% sale at Ulta, because you can make the opportunities to make profits in trading is beautiful, and you can do it with Bitcoin. And so that's why it's exciting to me. And I also get excited about it because I get to apply my skill. I get to apply my skill that I've learned over these 4 years. And it's exciting. It's exciting to see, how it transpires, how your skill transpires, and how you can catch great moves like this. All right. So here's Sunday, the 11th. Okay. So that was and we're on the 30-minute time frame now. So Sunday, she makes a move. We all know that if you study Bitcoin. And I know the time, the best on average hours when she's making that move. So here we are at 11. Usually in the evening is when this move will happen. So I see this right here is probably going to be around 4 to 8 p.m. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to look down now and see if I'm correct. 2 o'clock. Okay. And then right here, we're at 6:30. Okay, makes sense. So she sold down, and then we have the buy up. So here, traders, this is where you could have caught this move. I would have caught it on the 15-minute, to be honest with you. The 15-minute would have been my entry. And this is my Exodus cross, and I love it. And this shows you why I love it. All right, here we have a signal to go ahead and sell this down off of my Exodus cross at 3:30. And this was a nice sell. Let's see how many pips that was. 400 pips. 400 pips isn't bad. So when I start getting to looking at the market, it's like around 4 o'clock. So let's see where price was at 4. Okay, already down at 4. Let's examine this a little bit more. Okay, so here we have the cross at 3:30, my Exodus cross at 3:30, and me looking at the market around this time. I would not. I'd have to I'd have to put my fib on there to see where price was at on the 1 hour. So let's see where price was at on the 1 hour. So what I'm going to show you, traders, is how I would feel about if she was going to keep selling at that point. So 11 o'clock on Sunday, here's the 1 hour. I would have a fib on like this. Yeah, I'd have a fib right here. And that might be my high. Let me see, Sunday at 1900 hours. No, I wouldn't know it was doing all that. So this would have been my high right here, Saturday. So price, let me get this on the right color. All right. So at this time, this is where we're looking at right here. When I said I'd look at the market around 4:30 on Sunday. Is that right here? Yeah. Right here at 11, not 11 o'clock. I want to look at it. Right about this time, 1500 hours. That's 3 o'clock. I'll look at it a little bit later. Look at it around 5. So that's 1700 hours. Right here is when I'd start looking at the market on Sunday. So what I'm doing is I would have my fib up and I'd be like, okay, where is she at in my fib? And she's only pulling down to the like the 36. Let me pull this out. Shoot. And let me put this information on the left so we can see the values better. Okay. Now remember, I wouldn't know that this happened because this was later at 1900 hours, which was at 7 o'clock. So I wouldn't know it would go back up there. And here is at 1700, 5 o'clock when I start looking at the market. So I would say to myself, okay, Anna, price has come down only to the 23 or 38. She still could sell down to this 5061.8 zone here. She could still sell down into here. So she could still pull back at this time. So I might, think that, she could sell down, but she needs to break this 21 here, this purple line here. She needs to break that. Let me see here. Anyway, she would need to break that. So I would look at it and I would say, okay, let's see what she looks like. I need to be on the 15-minute. Excuse me. Maybe on the 15-minute looking at this. So at this time, she did break the 21, but is not doing anything. She's not continuing. She's starting to buy up. So this would be a tricky trade here. I would want to see. She retested here. I could go ahead and enter here for the sell to see if she sells down to here to the 5061.8 zone. She retests this 21 because at this time, traders, at like around this time, she's going to make a move. And she did, but she didn't sell. She bought up, which makes sense. So I won't know that. And other traders, they won't know that until it actually starts happening. So right now, you may think, oh, the moves for the sell down. There's other confluences that I would use to tell me if that was the case or not. But I'm not going to get into that right now. I'm just using this time frame and this 1 hour fib and what price action has done. And I say, okay, if she's going to sell, I'll go ahead. I'll enter stop loss right here. I would have my stop loss right above. Stop loss I would place right here. Okay. If she didn't sell, I would get kicked out right here. And then I would have my take profit right here to this zone. Right there to that zone. So that would be 500 some pips. And I'm just looking for the short play at this time because I know she's going to make a move. I know she's going to make a move. So I just want that short-term move, like 500, 600 pips. I know she'll do. And then we'll see if she continues to sell down or buy back up into Monday, which is into today. So this trade here would have been a really good risk to reward trade where I had my take profit and my stop loss. So I'm going for a sell. So I'm shorting that. I'm entering right here. My stop loss is right here. And my take profit area is right here. So that is a 6-to-1 risk to reward. Beautiful. Nice trade. Even if she didn't go down to the 61.8 and she only sold to the zone here, could retest this level here, I'm still at a 3-to-1 risk to reward. That would have been a great trade setup. And I would have taken it and seen if she done it. She didn't do it. Okay. She did not sell down. So that comes off the table. And then I got hit with my stop. Now, I would be watching this because it's like a mini scalp for me. So I will be watching, and then I would be on the lower time frames that would tell me that she's going to continue to buy up. But if not, what I'm trying to say is I don't believe I would still be holding this during this time here. I would probably have closed out my trade. And then we have the buy entry right here. So this happened quickly in a 15-minute candle, but this is your entry here, the candle before it, this green one, because it's much larger than these to the left of it. There's my trigger, my entry. Stop loss would be right instead of here. I'd have my stop loss right under here. And then my take profit where I would go for my take profit would be the higher time frames. But I also would do a fib. I would do a fib right here. Oops, wrong one. I would do my fib here. Now, oh goodness. Now I'm showing you the lower time frame entries. That's what this call was about, how you could have grabbed this lower time entry. So I'm showing you last night how you could have caught it, how I catch it. Okay, so we want the buy. So I would have gotten in, right, off of this candle here. I would put my fib projections on, and I would have said, okay, Anna, price has to come up to here, make a 100% retracement, and then I'll take it to my 161 or my 431, right up to here, or 261. So these targets here would have been one of my targets for a take profit, just for the short term, just wanting like 600 pips out of it, because I know that that's normally what she does before she does her full move, her small move. So it's like, oh, also we're having a sale of 80% off. Up, it's 80% off from 5 to 7, and then after 7 we're going to 50% off. So just a short-term frame. This is just a short-term move that I know she'll do before she makes her big move. So and then here I would use my fib projections to give me take profit zones. So she went ahead and broke through those zones. So I would have been super happy and grateful. We know that she did a 100% retracement here, but I did not put my projections here. That's a little further back than I want. And that trade would have been beautiful. Let's see how many pips that would have been. So I enter here, and I'm going to here. That's 375 pips. Up to my 261 is 700 pips. So she did not make it up to this 261, but she did make it to the 161. So you can take 2 trades, 3 trades, I don't know, however many trades fit your risk management for your account. And you could have done, okay, well, I'm going to do a take profit 1 here at the 161, take profit here 2, and take profit here 3, right? You could have done that as an option, but I'm just showing you how you could have caught that move. So that worked out really well. So if I gotten in there, I had my stop loss, I didn't even use it, and I got my 500 and some pips right there. So that was a really good trade setup there. And on the 15-minute, that was just one candle. So that's what she does like to do. There's an immediate halt and then a comeback down and sold back down. So here we are at 8 o'clock. Let's look at 8 o'clock. 2100 hours is 9 o'clock. So this is where advanced traders, or as you get in your trading journey, you have clues that it's no longer going to continue to push. Okay, you have no more candles making a new high. It makes an immediate halt when it should have taken off. It didn't, so that usually means it's going to go the other way, and it did. And then you could go ahead and I would say, okay, well, let me see what she does at the 21. See if she can pass it. And then we get a signal saying, no, we're selling. So now that's no good. So if you got into the sell, because maybe you're like, okay, she's going to sell now, maybe down to this heartbeat zone. I would be going to a higher time frame and looking at the momentum and seeing what it's calling for. So let me duplicate this. And we're at about 8:30. And then let's go and use some other information. Let me see if this doesn't. All right, I didn't want to do that. I want to use this other one. Okay, so here at 8:30, let's look at the 1 hour and see what it's saying, what our momentum is saying at that time. Our 1 hour at that time is saying that our momentum is still selling. So I very much would have been like, okay, we'll sell down, maybe down to this heartbeat zone, this 5061.8 level. And it didn't go all the way down to 61.8, but did just tap it before she bought up. So that's a similar similar situation that Bitcoin likes to do on Sundays. You can get caught in that. And so you would really just have to either be managing it or just, maybe not take the trade. If I did take the trade, I probably would have my target at the 61.8, then the 50, but she did just tap the 50. So my take profit would have gotten hit. And then here, okay, so that was the momentum for that time. Now let's see the entry for this move that she did, the big move from Monday. Okay, let's look at that. So let's go to the 15-minute. We'll see the entry. I take these off. Now this is the main purpose of the call today, showing you that entry for the huge move up. Okay. So here we are, Monday. Let's go into Sunday, Saturday. I probably should not have deleted that line. I find it so funny how my dogs just act up when I'm teaching. You guys are so funny. You don't do that when we're not. All right. So this is about 8 o'clock. Let's go into 8 o'clock here. So that's where I had the stop loss. And okay, here's 1 o'clock in the morning. And 4 o'clock. So probably 7 o'clock. Let's look at 7 a.m. Okay, so 7 a.m. if you were in the market, looking at the market, I'm waiting. My phone, one of my phones will go off and it will say, Anna, you have an Exodus cross on the 15-minute time frame. It would have told me I had my entry. And the entry was, this is my Exodus cross right here, traders. I love it. And why do I love it? Because, watch it now. Watch it. Because this happened right away. 1,875 pips happens right away. An immediate reaction when this Exodus cross works properly, market works with it, you have the biggest explosion in that direction, and normally immediately. I love it. I call it the Exodus cross, and it's beautiful. And here was your entry at 7 o'clock. Now you'd be like, well, Anna, I wasn't at the market. How can I re-enter that? I'll show you in just a minute. But let's look at the entry. So here we are before, let's do a replay too, so you can actually see it, what's going on. Okay. So here we are, it's selling. We have a sell signal. So like, oh, okay, it's going to break the 200. If it breaks the 200 and pushes down, I'm going to go into my fib. I don't know if I still have those zones marked up, but I could do it right here. If I did a fib here, let me do a fib, 15-minute, 15-minute low to high. Okay. If I did this fib here and it were to sell, I would say, okay, that wouldn't be my fib. It would have to be down to here. And I say, okay, if price breaks the 200, then I'm going to take it to this 47,546 on this fib. I probably, to be honest with you, I would be in the 1 hour, going off of my 1 hour fib. So let me go there, or my 4 hour fib. My 1 hour fib at that time, no, it would be right here. So my fib would be like this. And this is where I would go to on that 15-minute from the sell this morning before it bought up. I would come down into this zone. I would take that sell down to here or down to here. I would sell it down to those zones. Stop loss right above. Okay. So on the 15-minute, when we got that, let me take this off so we can just see it on the 15-minute. Oh, okay. So my target zones would be these two levels here. If it continued to sell, my stop loss right here. Let's see if I can. So I'd have my stop loss right here. Okay. My stop loss is there. Right here. And then my entry is right here for the sell would be right here. My entry would be right here. Okay. Entry, sell, and then right here are my take profit zones. It'd have to break the 200, which it looks like it's doing here on this 15 minutes. So let's look at the candle and press play. Maybe we need to go a little bit faster. Okay. Needs to break and close below the 200, and it's not. Now I have a candle that's going to concern me because it's huge engulfing. See if it breaks above the 21. If it breaks above the 21, then I would be like, okay, we're going to maybe get into a buy here. I would wait for my Exodus cross signal, which I haven't gotten yet. So it could just retest this and then continue to sell. So, you know, that's an option. But I'm showing you the entry. And this is 715. Okay, has to break the 200. All right, so here's my candle, has to break above the 21, break and close above. See what the next candle, okay, it's testing the zone. Needs to break and close below here. All right, so I'll be like, okay, well, let's see if it can break the 200. This is now 8:30. Okay, so now opening bell on Monday is coming up. So you could wait until after, but that's up to you. Right now, let's see. Oh, here's our buy right here. Okay, what time is that? 9 o'clock. Makes sense, right at around New York open time, getting ready to have the market up. Don't see it's going to go ahead. Oh, pause. There is our entry right there. Boom. 9:15, we get our entry and it plays out. So that sell did not work. I was waiting for it to break the 200. It didn't. So I never would have gotten into that trade. And then there she's taking off 9:30, doing a 100% retracement. My eyes would be going to the left here. I'd say, okay, she needs to break this zone. Could retest here. Okay, could retest 945. Right now, she already made a 600 pip move. Nice. All right, now she's going to new levels. Pause. How can we get back in? How can we get into this? Because you'd be like, oh, I want to get in. Easy, easy. Okay, you have 3 strong candles already. You have an approximate 3 to 5 candles to print before a pullback. So easy. Your entry would be on the lower time frames. These wicks here would have gotten you in on the lower time frames. Let's look at it. Let's go to the 2-minute. Okay, here's your re-entries here. Here's a re-entry. You could have had a re-entry along this zone, but here is a definite re-entry right here. entering back in at 10 o'clock. Okay. And then let's go back to the 15-minute and see what she does. See when she pulls back off of the 15-minute. Okay. Remember I said easy. Watch that. She didn't go anywhere. Okay. A complete halt. See if she continues on. There she goes. Okay. There's your re-entry as well. This is your re-entry. Did not commit up. Your pause. This is at 10:30 now. So now you're like, well, good Lord, where the heck is she going? Right? So I would be up to my 4-hour fib now. And I would be looking at my 4-hour fib, wondering where, okay, I'm going to buy up to this level. That's what I do. You could say, okay, well, I'm just going to say 50,000 is where she's going. We now have this zone has been broken. So, okay, fine. So right where we have it stopped on our fib, let's see where we would be at because I don't have it marked up here. I forget what this zone was, what these were. I'm going to take this off. Okay, so she is above and beyond new zone. So I have to go into my day fib now and be like, all right, where's she at? Where is she at? Okay, there's nothing to the left to us here. She's broken new highs. There's nothing I can reference on the short term. Okay, she has not been up this high since last year. All right, here we are back in September. She's down in the valley. Nothing to my left. Here's the most recent thing to my left, but she clearly broke that. Clearly broke that. So you immediately are in the day last year fib. So you have to scroll in more. And now you're in your day fibs, which I showed you in the beginning of this session. I think this is up here. This is where our last line of defense is on this day fib, if I remember correctly. So we do a high to low fib, and we want to, like right now, we'd be like, good Lord, where's she going? I would be using my day fib, and it's going to tell me where to buy to. Watch. Oops. This is my my day fib. Remember, yeah, because remember at the beginning of the session, I said it up the high at 67,000, 68. Okay, so this is my day fib. And right now, I'd be like, when I was on the 15-minute, I'd be like, good Lord, where am I buying to? Yep, let me say this is the zone here. This is, I would be buying up to 56, would be my TP zone. 56,000 is where I would target to. Okay, that's where I would target to. I have other indicators that I use that would take me a little bit in between here. I could also use them as levels. You can also use support and resistance as levels too, looking to your left. But this here ultimately, and still is, I don't know where price is at right now that at this recording, it's 9:44. But this is the zone here, 56.5 is the next take profit zone. So let's see what she does. I think I need to make this sucker a little bit faster. Oh, maybe she's done here. Maybe I think we're done. It's where she's currently at. So let's go back to our 15-minute. Oh, wait, let's go back to the day so you can see where we would have to go. Okay, I'm going to make this show up on the 15-minute time frame. And this I actually do have a label for. So tomorrow, traders, I expect consolidation to happen. Maybe another big move, perhaps a retest, but definitely Wednesday we'll have consolidation. Just gonna, all of that movement will be consolidating. So it's either catch the move Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday is really the days. And then Wednesday and Thursday, you could see her just pausing. What am I doing? So, actually, that's not our 4 hour, that's our day. Here we go. This is our day zone. So buying back up to here. So let's find out where that is on the 15-minute. So that's right up here. So our zone for her to go to is right up here. If she'll make it up there, she might not, and then just consolidate. Make this a little bit lighter. That's usually when I have a black background that will show up like that. But that's my 4 hour zone. So to get to that 4 hour zone is, oh my, 6,000 more points. She's not going to go that high. She's not going to go that high. No. So let's see what is, if anything is available to us. What will then now be available to us is support and resistance levels on the lower time frames. So we're going to have to, we don't have any, we could have just a retest. If she buys back up into here, we could use our channel to help guide us, but I believe we were at the top of our channel. Yeah, we were at the top of our channel. So we could use our channel as a guide. If she was like right here, you could say, okay, I'm going to buy to the top of the channel. But even if you did that, you would have been right here. Like your channel would have been, you would have had a channel like this and then would have had to bust through it. So, okay, that's channel's not an option. Looking to our left, nothing's to the option. Nothing is available to find support and resist levels. And see, it's like the white zone. There's nothing there until here, back in 2022, 2 years ago. We are now at the zones of 2 years ago, traders. We are now at the zone of 2 years. So my alerts, I have this one alert app, and it's from trades 3 years ago going off. So the 4 hour really won't take me. Let's see if I can hide this. Okay. Won't really take me that far back. So we have to go to, I hate to go to the day. We also have beach levels that you can use. I'm with a community of women traders, and they use a indicator called beach levels, and they show you the strong areas of support and resistance. So we could bust that out. If you're interested in joining some women trading, let me know. Okay, so the next zone that these beach levels are telling us, we can get rid of this now, is the 53,125. could be our next zone, the shorter one, without having to go all the way back and find support and resistance areas. On our day, we'd have to look here and be like, okay, where do we see a bunch of support and resistance? Right here's a level. We can mark them up now. Let's put some levels here. So right here, she's right here, testing this zone here. Right here, and you have another zone right here. See where that level picked it up to? We have a support zone here, right here. She's right here on this one. I also am on TradingView. If you want to follow me on TradingView, and my systems that I use right now does not stream to TradingView, which is a bummer. So I did want to be sure to make an analysis on there for today's big day with it hitting 50 grand. But I'll do that tomorrow. So be sure to follow me on TradingView, traders, if you're on TradingView. And okay, so here's a level. So see how, traders, we cannot pick anything on the lower time frames to the left of us. There's nothing there. This is the highest level it's been at. And now we're back in looking at zones of this area back in 2022. 2022 is where we are at again. So all of this has happened in 2 years. Now in the valley, price changed from selling to buying. This is in October, or excuse me, this is March of last year. And then we have October. I believe this is probably October. Yep, October. October of last year, just October, November, December, January, February, just 4 months ago. So just 4 months ago, Bitcoin has gone 21,000 pips, gone up in price by $21,000. Right here in October 18th, price was at 29, and now is at 49 in 4 months. And on our high to low fib, she is now at a little bit above the 5061.8 zone. So that is my analysis for you. What was really cool, traders, that was your takeaway that you can get, is I showed you the entry this morning, how you could have caught that. So be sure to watch the replay, and I'll be doing more of these lives, getting back into having them twice a week, and also be on TradingView. So if you have any questions, and maybe you want to learn how to trade, maybe if you're interested in mentorship, or I'm going to be offering classes here starting on how to learn the Exodus cross, also how to scalp New York Open. You know, some traders, they wait till it settles down. Not this trader. And so maybe you want to learn how to scalp New York Open from the 9:30 until 8:45. I'm offering classes for that as well. And also check out my website. It's annadeshels.com for other upcoming classes that I'll be offering, or also check out my YouTube. And be sure to follow me on Instagram. It's Anna Coach or Trader. Anna Coach Trader. I just had changed it. It was Visual Silence Technology, but now I have changed it. So that's why I had a little tongue twister there. But yeah, leave a comment, whatever. I hope you guys have a great Monday night. I've had a lot of fun doing this technical analysis with you, and I'll see you in the charts. Good night.